Hello again, Dolphin fans. Welcome back to the channel. If you have not already, please go back and check out my last video. I refer to it as the Maryland Boys, Dante Trader Jr., Jordan Phillips, the defensive tackle, what they can bring to Anthony Weaver's defense, and how they might fit in 2025 as more role-type players, a little bit of depth pieces here and there. Before that, guard Jonas Savanaya, Dolphins second-round pick. There's a cut-up on that. And then I also did Kenneth Grant. So if you've not already, please go check out those videos. If you have not hit the subscribe button, smash the little bell if you want to be notified every time a new video drops. But today we are talking about the Miami Dolphins 6th round pick, 179th overall. I'm talking about Oklahoma State running back Ollie Gordon II. This is a player who, a lot of people pre-draft may have thought was going to go on day 2, ended up falling to day 3, and for the Dolphins, it worked out damn near perfectly. Has over 3,500 yards total throughout his career. Appeared in 13 games as a rookie, 308 yards, had 2 touchdowns, only started 1 game, but his huge season was in 2023 when he led the nation with 1,732 yards, finished second with 21 rushing touchdowns, and won the Doak Walker Award for the best running back in the entire nation. That same season, he was a first-team Associated Press All-American, Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, and first-team All-Big 12. He also caught 39 passes for 330 yards. And then last year is kind of when he fell off and kind of why he was honestly available in the 6th round. Honorable mention for All Big 12, led the team with 880 rushing yards, 13 rushing touchdowns, started all 12 games, but also got arrested in July 2024 for suspicion on DUI. So, you mix all that together with the poor quarterback play at Oklahoma State, that dreadful offensive line, and then, the suspicion of a DUI, that could be why Ollie Gordon fell. But again, I think this almost worked out perfectly for the Miami Dolphins, because when you look at what they needed in this running back room, which we heard Mike McDaniel talk about all off season long, right? We're going to bring in multiple running backs. They signed Alexander Madison, who has experience being Dalvin Cook's backup, starting literal games. And, if you're a fantasy guy, there was a time when Alexander Madison was highly coveted. You brought him in to, take some of that workload off and maybe H him. Traded up last year for Jalen Wright, who's 22 years old. Still have not even seen him, become half the player that a lot of us expect him to be. But what Ollie Gordon does is a bit different. He runs a 4.6140, not the fastest guy, which you don't need him to be the fastest guy, right? What we need is for him to come in short yardage situations and to kind of insert your dominance against some of these teams, right? We continue to hear about the Dolphins' toughness, how they kind of fell apart late in years, how at times weather gets cold, they just cannot stand up to some of those better teams. Ollie Gordon is going to be that bruiser that comes in here and can allow the Dolphins to get physical late in seasons, can allow the Dolphins to pick up those short yardage situations where in past seasons maybe they couldn't. And he can do a little bit of everything. According to Lance Zierlein, the NFL comparison for him, which I absolutely love, is Brian Robinson Jr. And again, when you're watching this tape, you can definitely see the comparisons to him. Another guy that's more of a bruiser, can run between the tackles. But what I like most about Ollie Gordon is there is no wasted steps, right? If he sees that things are not going right one way, he will cut that thing back and explode through a hole on the other side. Does not go down easy with first contact. I think the best way to compare it to is for those that play Madden, college football. You're tackling a running back at the line of scrimmage, and every time he falls forward for those 2 or 3 yards, that's what Ollie Gordon seems to do. Had 68 missed tackles in 2023. That was his huge, that big season. 73 runs of 10-plus yards throughout his 3-year career. And in 2023, when he won that Doak Walker, had 21 total rushes, over 20 yards. The biggest thing for him and the way he's going to get on the field pretty quickly, I think, is, last season I thought Jalen Wright, watching the tape, this guy could pass protect. And we know how badly the Dolphins needed that, right? Offensive line was a little bit up and down, needed that pass protector to help out in those situations. Ollie Gordon brings that. As you'll see throughout this tape later on, hat tip to no flags film for the video. I think do a barrel roll was also the watermark on the video. They put together an awesome cut-up of what he can do in pass protection, chipping blockers, things like that. And it just is impressive as hell to watch because he is not scared. I think he had a quote, when I'm in that pass pro, I'm trying to take you out. That's going to be your last play blitzing. If I've got to cut you, if I've got to run through your face, that's going to be your last play blitzing. And I'm going to make you think about it. And that's what we see, right? He's bullying through guys. I mentioned the Brian Robinson Jr. comparison earlier. I know a lot of Dolphin fans are trying to make the the comparison to Jay Ajayi, and I don't know. I hope he doesn't have those knee issues that Jay Ajayi had, but he was that last guy that, was trucking through players, was, getting to that second level and using his speed, which, I say speed, but using, his tools to get past some defenders. That's what we're going to see for Ollie Gordon. That's what you see throughout this tape. He can break off the big play, but it's what he can do between the tackles that I think is going to mean the most to this Dolphins team, because I personally like Jeff Wilson. I thought at times Jeff Wilson should have got the ball more. I think back to that Dallas game. I think he almost put that thing away in situations where the Dolphins needed it. And that's what Ollie Gordon's going to do in those late games. We continue to hear about the toughness issues with the Dolphins. Ollie Gordon brings that toughness. He can run between the tackles, has no issue bullying through a defender. Very, very tough to tackle. And then, again, what he does in the receiving game. You can see throughout his tape, if you go back and watch his Senior Bowl, some of those one-on-one reps, he's looking pretty good as a receiving threat. He's getting out in the flats. He's running routes like a receiver, and I think that's part of his game that might be a little bit underrated. You can see him taking some screens to the house. You can also see him being that check down merchant, but just what he's going to bring to pass protection is probably going to be how he gets out in that field first, and then at that point, third down, all it takes is him picking up a perfect block or, running up the gut for that first down to truly instill faith in him. And at that point, Mike McDaniel might be using him a lot more. So, you have to be absolutely excited for this. If you're a fantasy player, looks like he's going at least in rookie drafts around round 3, round 4. Dylan Sampson's another guy that I think is in that same area, but I don't know if he's going to be that true rushing impact in year 1. But you do see, how he's going to have value, how he's going to be that perfect complement to Devon Achane, Jalen Wright, and bringing in a guy like Ollie Gordon allows you to do more of those things with Devon Achane. We continue to hear about his route running, how much emphasis he's put on that. We saw it last season, right? This guy was a huge part of the Miami Dolphins passing game. Bringing in Ollie Gordon can help open things, alleviate some of that stuff, maybe allow Devon Achane not to get hit as much, running between the tackles. Impressive stuff. As you'll see, I'm getting ready to show you that. As you'll see here with that pass protection cut up, he is not allowed, and I think this is according to Pro Football Focus, did not allow a sack in 221 career pass blocking reps. So impressive stuff. Impressive resume. Again, you would have liked to see him finish 2024 stronger. The first 2 clips of this, the first 2 videos would have been 2023 Oklahoma State versus Cincinnati, then 2023 versus Texas A&M. Then we have BYU from 2024 and Texas Tech from 2024. So I tried to put them in order as far as the year. But just look at him. He is a mean dude in pass protection. Would like to him not go as low in some of those situations, trying to take out a player's legs. But the guy plays bully ball at the Senior Bowl. They relied on him heavily. Looked pretty damn good. It was some of those better players, those all-star players. And then he even has a little bit of a Ronnie Brown moment where he's throwing the ball. Terrible pass, if we're being honest. Very underthrown. Nice adjustment. But he can do a little bit of everything. And I think that's what the Dolphins like. But most importantly, it's the bruiser. It's that guy that puts his head down, can get that 1-2 yards that you need in those key situations that in years past we just could not do. I cannot even tell you on the top of my head how many times the Dolphins in short yardage situations overthought things or could not rely on just a running back just bullying through things. And I think when you add Ollie Gordon to this backfield, Devon Achane, Jalen Wright, Alexander Madison, you got Alec Ingold there as well. This might have been, as cliche as it sounds, that missing piece. And I'm excited to see the future with Ollie Gordon, Jalen Wright, and Devon Achane, because that is a 3-headed monster that's going to cause nightmares for defenses. I know I like to do the Pokemon comparison, so drum roll please. I'm going with Onyx. Onyx is a big dude, stone Pokemon. Not sure how fast he is, but Ollie Gordon ran a 4.61. But he just looks like, what I envision Ollie Gordon doing when a tackler tries to come close to him. He's turning into a snake of steel or whatever he is and just bullying through him. So Ollie Gordon, Onyx, I think that's fitting. If you have a better Pokemon comparison, please let us know. And as always, if you like what you're listening to, like what you're seeing, please hit the little subscribe button, smash the bell if you want to be notified every time a new episode drops. I did do a video on Monday. I believe it was the Dante Trader and Jordan Phillips video. Now dropping this on Friday. I already have Quinn Ewers ready to go, so I'll probably drop that on Memorial Day. But I think Monday and Friday dropping a pod or a video is a pretty good start. And like I said, this is where I'm going to try to put most of my content. I no longer go on Twitter. I do Blue Sky a little bit. Shout out to Reddit, because I put my videos on Reddit, and I think that's where a lot of this traffic comes from. So shout out Miami Dolphins Reddit for allowing me to post my content. And enjoying it, because again, I do this for the fans. I want you guys to be able to watch, some of the things that maybe you can't see in the game film, and just to get a good grasp of what these players can bring to the Miami Dolphins, and maybe what the future entails. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to hear my thoughts on it. You don't have to take what I'm saying as gospel. Watch the film, digest it yourself, and then make your own decision. And that's all I've ever wanted to do. So thank you again so much for enjoying these videos, for everyone that continues to subscribe, for everyone that continues to share this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I said, I will be back on Memorial Day, or early next week. We will be back with Quinn Ewers. But until then, thanks again so much for watching this episode of, again, I believe it's a Take It to the House breakdown. Hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, but most importantly, have a safe Memorial Day weekend. And as always, fins up.